Hey, this is DecoyNoise, and today, me and you are going to cover another Am I the Antagonist thread in Am I the Antagonist for refusing to sell my car to help save my girlfriend's dog? So as always, we read the story, take it over to Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reactions. I cover some of those top comments and the controversial comments, and the best comment on the video itself gets posted to the top, and also that Decoy coin over on DecoyNoise.com. But let's go ahead and see what OP had to say. They wrote, "My girlfriend has been out of work since late March due to the pandemic. I've been working 3 days instead of 5 since early April, so money's kind of tight for the both of us. Her dog recently got sick, and after a visit to the vet, she learned that it needs surgery and further treatments afterwards. My girlfriend doesn't have the money, so she's asked me to trade in my car and get a cheaper one. She got her car appraised, and even though if she sells it, it won't be nearly enough to cover the surgery. I drive a pretty nice sports car, and selling it will be enough to cover the surgery, and I'll be able to buy a used car later. I told her I needed to think about it, and she got very upset. She's had this dog for 8 years, and she's very attached to it. She asked what there is to think about because it's a living thing over a car. She also pointed out that I don't even work for the car, and my dad bought it for me as a graduation gift. He paid what I still owed on it, but I used a lot of my own money from my part-time job to make the down payment and made payments for 2 years. After thinking about it and discussing with my family, I kind of think she's asking a lot from me. I told her I wasn't comfortable with selling my car. Her sister called me yesterday and told me how depressed she's been because her dog is suffering and is probably going to die. She said I'm an antagonist for choosing a car over a living creature. I think this relationship with her is over and we'll probably be breaking up soon." And the edit was, "Just so there's no confusion, and I can get a fair judgment, I won't be without a car if I sell my sports car. I'll be able to buy a used car and be able to pay for the surgery. She's upset that I'm choosing a luxurious car over a more modest one when it could save her dog's life. I apologize if that wasn't clear in the post." And edit number 2, she just posted something on her story about her she's losing a boyfriend and a dog, and that she wasted 3 years of her life, so I guess we're no longer dating. She's told some of her friends about this, and while a lot of them took her side, one of them texted me that if she were my girlfriend, she's being unreasonable, and that if she was my girlfriend, she would never ask me to do something like trade in my car. So there's that, I guess. So as always, we got to take it over to Decoy Court where I'm giving you my knee-jerk reaction, unfiltered from all the top comments and the controversial comments. And I got to say that, what is it? Exhibit A over here is, yes, I appreciate when someone makes sacrifices to save their pets. You know, I always want to give my own pets a fighting chance if we have the opportunity to do. And that being said, it's always easy to volunteer your neighbor's lunch. You know, I get that from like when I was in high school and I'd have like a bag of like personal chips, and when someone asked for some, and if I would say no, other people would pile in like, "Come on dude, it's just chips, just give them some." And you know, why am I not in control of my own possessions? 2, why do you feel entitled to give away my things? And 3, if they're so righteous about feeding that person, why don't they go to the same vending machine and buy them some food? And always their excuses would always fall apart. They would never do it. It's just easier to say, "Hey, it doesn't hurt me at all. Just do it. You comply with me," you know? And yes, the greater good can only come from someone actually making the sacrifice. Like the idea that she volunteered OP's goodwill, not her own goodwill, is just like, you know, why is she entitled to her car? Like, and she's angry that you won't save her dog. That's just the easy way out. Like, you know, why doesn't the girlfriend just sell a car entirely, take the bus for a while, and open up a credit card and go into some debt for the rest? You know, see if it's the whole you're doing it's a living thing over your car. Like if that argument holds up after you say take the bus and make some debt, if that falls apart, then she doesn't really mean it. She just wants the easy way out, which is, you know, Exhibit E over here, the whole idea where, you know, she's guilt tripping you, telling her sister, "I'm so depressed, like, you know, tell OP that this is happening," you know. If that's what she does when she doesn't get away, involving her sister to try to coax you into something that she's not comfortable doing herself, that's the biggest red flag right there. Like, we've also covered a very similar story on this channel about, you know, OP spending his own money for a sick dog against his girlfriend's wishes, but this one is a girlfriend trying to spend OP's money against OP's wishes. And, you know, yes, saving the dog is the honorable thing to do, but the vet didn't say, like, "I can only save the dog if I get your boyfriend's Corvette, and OP's car is the only form of payment we take here." It's like, no, that's not what a vet does. You can pay with any money that you like. And, you know, the idea is don't ask someone to sacrifice something you're not willing to sacrifice yourself. And, you know, sad to say that this relationship is over, but it was probably for the better. You know, when girlfriend doesn't get away, her tactic is to emotionally shame him to the family and her friends. So as always, we only judge OP, but you're not the antagonist. You're just doing doing what anybody would do in your situation. I'd actually go on the counteroffensive and start shaming her that, you know, she would only save her dog if I sell my car. She doesn't love her dog enough to go work part-time at the local Starbucks or wherever she's at and, like, you know, sell her car. Obviously, I wouldn't do that, and that accomplishes nothing, but just, you know, the weak argument that the girlfriend's putting up there, that never holds up in Decoy Court. I really need like a gavel or like a prop book to throw at the camera or whatever. But I mean, as always, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Pause the video, give me your feedback, earn that Decoy coin by the first day to see if, you know, if you have a good opinion, and then maybe edit it later on after you read the top end controversial comments, because I like when we can kind of grow as an audience. Me and you can kind of have an opinion and then be proven wrong in some of the comments or additional information that we gather. But let's go ahead and look at the top post right now, which is not the antagonist. There's a saying that you don't sell the farm to save the dog. Don't sell your car. Have her look into pet insurance or care credit. If her sister is so insistent, she can help. And that's the same thing with the whole chips analogy, where it's just like, yes, if you think this is the righteous thing to do, you do it. Sister and girlfriend, pull your money together, both sell your cars and do that, and then see if that argument holds up, because I'm guessing it probably wouldn't. That's kind of sad, the idea that it's like, if there was a surgery that your 8-year-old dog could have that had a high chance of working and was going to be very, like, you know, low pain for the dog, and it was this overall the best thing to do, would we both be selling our cars and, like, you know, downgrading? And it's just like, you'd hope you would do the right thing at the right time. But I mean, these are much more nuanced situations than just like car or dog, choose one, you know. But let's go ahead and read a reply to that, which is, pet insurance isn't going to cover a pre-existing condition, especially one that's not one that's needing current surgery, which is a very true thing to bring up. But just the idea that, like, yeah, take out some pet care credit, or, like, you know, open up another credit card. Like, if you really are depressed and you wasted 8 years of your life with your boyfriend because he wouldn't take care of it, yeah, go into debt, whatever. That's what it is. If you love the dog that much that you're willing to shame everybody in your life and push all these people away because they won't sell their car, you know, put your money where your mouth is and just do it. But I mean, let's go ahead and read the next reply, which is, not the antagonist, but wow, that sucks. You are in a lose-lose situation. I think it's fine if she asked you, but it's also fine if you said you were uncomfortable with it. Does she have a family member who could help her? Which is probably right. She probably should reach out to family. But just also the idea that, you know, this relationship was fragile to begin with. So if something as simple as not selling a car was enough to make the girl break up with you, it was probably not lasting that long anyway. So he's got this nice, cool car. He's supposed to sell it, buy a bucket, and then this already fragile relationship goes to the rocks at some other point in time, and she has a dog and you don't have your car. That OP is going to feel like an idiot if he sold his car, and it's just like, yeah, she couldn't walk all over him, and it kind of backfired. It didn't backfire on her, just, you know, OP knew that, what was it? He saw the writing on the wall. But let's go ahead and read what OP said in reply to that comment, which was, her family doesn't have the money either, as both of her parents are out of work. Mine has been largely unaffected by the situation, and they're very well off. But when I asked if they could loan me the money, they said the dog was no one's responsibility but hers. So, okay, it looks like the only person that would listen to even, like, entertain the idea that someone else needs to pay for her dog was OP, and the idea that she just kept on pushing, trying to get him to, you know, feel bad for her and sell his car. And, like, it's like, yeah, that's not the way you get things that you want in your adult life. You don't shame people into giving you free rent or a free payment for your dog's surgery or a job or something. That's not how the real world works, and hopefully she learns that very quickly. But let's go ahead and read the next top comment, which is, not the antagonist. I highly doubt that she has nothing of value that she could sell herself. No phone, no computer or laptop, no nice clothes or jewelry that she doesn't necessarily need. If her sister is so mad at you, maybe she should offer to sell her car to help pay for the surgery. Has your girlfriend spoken to the vet about potentially having some sort of payment plan in place to gradually pay off the surgery? I'm not sure if that's a thing where you live or not, but it might be worth looking into if it was the dog's life on the line. Which makes me think that if he hasn't said, OP didn't address any of those potential situations, like why they could or couldn't use credit or payment plan or something. It was just like, hey, this is a really easy way for her to get out of it. Can she shame OP into just doing it? Like, that's the easiest solution. Just have him pay for it and forget about it next year. It just seems like, yeah, you like the pity party, you like the Instagram post and the Facebook feed of you caring about your dog and you're a victim and the dog's a victim and boyfriend's a bad person or whatever, but it just didn't work. But like I say, top comments are giving us good perspective and just people kind of agreeing with us. Maybe we can find someone that can defend the girlfriend in the controversial comment, because the decoy defense is just pretty poor right here. But let's go ahead and see. The top controversial comment was, no antagonist here. You're dating, not married. You can do whatever you want with your assets. She's upset you don't value her dog as much as she does. This part bothers me though. I'd be tempted to ask if she paid for the dog or if it was a gift. If it's a gift, can she trade it in, right? It's not like she worked for it, but I don't need to ask if I'm the antagonist. I understand that she's upset. I hate when pets die, and the only reason I'm not flagging her as the antagonist is because distraught people can lash out and say things that are completely out of character, and I'm assuming that's the case here. And they quoted the thing about choosing a living thing over a car. So yes, they got downvoted. They're controversial, but I get like how They're controversial because they say, I don't like how pets die, but the whole idea, like, hey, if it was a gift, why can't you trade it in? That sort of situation. Like, they have no understanding of a pet isn't something that you like trade in. It's like you bond with it. It's a part of your family. It's not like, oh, you're sick now. Can I trade you for some value? Can I still get some store credit for this pet? Like, no, that's not the way that works or whatever. But also the idea that they're saying, like, yeah, maybe she's acting out of character and she's just very distraught over the pet. Yes, you can do that and lash out and cry and scream and yell and be super upset that your best friend and your family members passing away, that's your dog you've had for 8 years. But the idea that, you know, vindictively trying to shame somebody online is a very weird response to grief. I don't think that is also the same thing. But let's go ahead and read the reply that OP came and said, saying, I don't know, she's made comments about how I've had everything handed to me by my parents before, which is kind of true. Okay, and so what? He has a good life and his parents care about him and they want to see him live his best life. Just because their parents live their best, want OP to live his best life, doesn't mean you're entitled to anything. You're just a girl you're dating. That's a situation. So it just goes more into the whole, these are all red flags for that girl. So let's go ahead and read the next controversial comment saying, I'm going to go with no antagonist here. If you were married, then yeah, you should sell the car. If you intend to marry this woman, you should sell the car because she won't forget this moment. But also, your position is understandable. I have an old truck my dad gave me, and it's a slow, rusty Hulk. And while I would sell it and buy a nice new truck, I really don't want to because I'm attached to it. It's my truck. At the end of the day, though, it's just a car, and a dog could have many years left to live depending on the breed. A dog will love you back. A car just costs you money. There should be other alternative ways of getting money for the procedure, though. If the two of you should call around to see what other veterinarians, to see what the options could be, which is all good advice in the sense that if the car has sentimental value, keep it. And, you know, are there other ways to pay off the vet's bill? And sometimes other hospitals can do the similar surgery for less money. They just, you know, have smaller facilities, less overhead, whatever it may be. They're not a chain. But the idea that if you guys are married, then yeah, sell the car. And I actually kind of agree on that. The idea that if they were married and they're committed and everything else was going on, like this relationship was super strong, yeah, you may want to sell the car because it's your dog, you guys are family. But the idea that we read the post and that relationship was so shaky and paper thin that just the idea that they're not going to sell the car, they're not going to jump at the opportunity to drive a bucket for their dog means that they're going to break up and be shamed online. That was not a marriage. That wasn't even a good relationship. That was terrible. So I get where they're coming from in the sense that marriage would have meant that they should both take the chop and give into it, but that's just not the case here. Let's go ahead and read another controversial comment, which is, no antagonist here, but this doesn't really sit with me personally. I understand everyone else saying that you're just dating and it would be different if you were married, but a 3-year relationship is already quite a serious one in my opinion. You're kind of valuing your sports car, which I'm sure you love and value a lot, over your long-term girlfriend's happiness and maybe mental well-being at this point. It's kind of hinting at issues deeper in your relationship when you prioritize your own wants over your girlfriend, your partner, and your love's happiness. Again, not the antagonist, but I would consider this a deal breaker if I was in the girlfriend's position, and I wouldn't consider having a future with my significant other if they did this to me. Edited, not the antagonist, is no antagonist here because that's what I originally meant. So okay, I get what they're saying, the whole like, you know, why do you care more about your car than your girlfriend's happiness and mental well-being? Because it was just a power play. It was a way to say, let me shame you, and just, you know, you don't want to say, does my girlfriend trying to punk me? But just that's the idea. Is like, why would you want to be with someone that can manipulate you to do whatever they want regardless of what your feelings are? And why would you think that, like I said, the only form of payment that the vet is going to take is the boyfriend's car? Like, that's not the only way. There's plenty of other ways to pay for it. It would be a thing where it's like, you know, you're equating you losing the sports car for your girlfriend's happiness. There's lots of different ways the girlfriend can find happiness. She's not currently working. There's plenty of places that are hiring, albeit terrible jobs, but if she's willing to say, I love my dog so much, I would do anything for him. Yes, I'd pick up a crappy job over at, you know, a coffee shop, or I'd go back to my old job scrubbing floors at a burger shop. If I really had to save my cat and I really loved him and he had an amazing shot of making it through the surgery, and the only way I could do it is by downgrading my car and picking up a crappy job, then yes, you're going to do it. Me volunteering somebody else's goodwill and being like, you don't love me enough because you're not willing to do something that I'm forcing you to do, is a terrible relationship dynamic in my opinion. But I mean, granted, I could be incorrect. I think that's not a good thing. They got negative votes, but I never want to discount somebody's controversial opinion because they got negative votes, because oftentimes we see really good advice and feedback in comments that get blasted in the comment section. But let's go ahead and read one more controversial comment saying, We need more information. How long have you been with this girl? Do you live together? Do you have a relationship with a dog? Also, what kind of dog is this? How long is it expected to live normally? And they got downvoted because that's a good idea though. Like, you know, what's a larger dog is only expected maybe 10 years and a smaller dog can get 15 years. Granted, some animals live much longer and some much less, but just the idea is like, you know, what exactly is a surgery? Are you removing a malignant tumor that's already going to spread to other places? Or is it just like, hey, I don't know what other illnesses animals get, but is it something that's very simple that can be removed and they'll just live normally later on? And is this young for the animal? If it's like, you know, I can't think of like the longest living breed, but just the idea where its life expectancy is 15 to 18 years and it's only 8. So yeah, maybe you do get it the surgery because they're gonna live a long life, but again, they're asking for more information and getting downvoted. I don't see that being a thing. And just one last reply was, no antagonist here, but it sounds like you're incompatible with your girlfriend. I would prepare for a breakup, especially if her dog dies from this. And that's the thing, is dog lives, dog dies, dog whatever. Just the idea that this relationship was dead. If she's willing to shame you for not wanting to do anything she wants, all her bidding, and if she's willing to shame you for not doing something she's not willing to do herself, then all bets are off. It's over. Like, that relationship's done. But as always, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm the big antagonist myself. Let me know down below. Get yourself that Decoy coin by giving me some good feedback, right or wrong. I don't mind. But as always, if you made it this far in the video, I want to say I appreciate you hanging out with me while you do, because this is just me trying to make sense of the time that I have off. If nothing else, subscribe down below with the notifications on so you see all the videos. Visit DecoyNoise.com if you want to become a moderator for the subreddit DecoyNoise or a moderator for the Discord channel we make. But as always, put this on autoplay and watch the next Decoy Noise coming up next.